After about a 90-minute delay, we are back in action here at McKeon Park. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks lead the Bourne Braves 5-3. We did just miss the first at-bat back. It was a Logan Hughes single. He stands on first base. Camden Kozel's at the plate. Here's the first pitch. And it's a called strike on the outside part of the plate from Max Stammel, the left-hander who's committed to the University of Virginia. He comes in a two-run game with one out. Riker Wade stands on second base. He got a single before we stopped the game before. The left on left 0-1. Misses outside, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Bourne scored 2 runs in the first and 1 in the second. Hyannis scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third. That puts us where we are. Max Stammel is making his third appearance of the summer. He's been spectacular so far out here on the Cape. He hasn't given up a run yet. The left-hander looks back to second and fires. Kozel bounces it off the plate and foul down the third baseline. Stammel was at Duke University, but is following his head coach Chris Pollard, who's heading to UVA. His last time out, he pitched on July 4th, went 2 innings, didn't give up any runs. The left-hander comes set to the belt and fires. Called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Kozel wasn't the happiest fan of the call. It took a couple seconds in the box before eventually walking back, as that is out number 2 of the top of the 4th inning, and Kahio Aloy stands in. A right-handed hitter out of Arkansas is 0 for 1 today with a walk. He was out trying to advance to third base after reaching on the free pass back in the first inning. Here's the set. I'll look back to second. The kick and the pitch. A fastball upstairs. Aloy went about a quarter of the way around. A appeal to first, and Jake Brichter says that Aloy held up. So the count 1-0. Waite takes a big lead at second. Hughes at first. The infield in double play formation. Actually, just playing back with 2 outs, I should say. Runners going. Here's the pitch. Misses low and inside. Throw goes into second, and that gets into the outfield. Waite comes in to score. Logan Hughes to third, and it's a 1-run ball game here in the top of the 4th. Hyannis 5, Bourne 4.
Adam, that's a huge run, and now the third of the ball game that we've seen this Bourne team score on an error or a wild pitch. That's exactly what they've been able to capitalize on, just playing that small ball and putting pressure on this Hyannis defense.
So Aloy still at the plate with 2 outs in the count 2-0. Bourne now down by just 1. Here's the pitch. Another quarter of a swing from Aloy. This time doesn't matter as the pitch is in the zone. The count 2-1.
Would love to see Aloy just knock a base hit, tie this ball game up. After being quiet for a while, it's hard to get the offense going, and you have a good chance here.
Here's the pitch. Called strike on a fastball low and inside. It's 2-2. Stammel came into this game with 1 out and a runner on first. He's given up a run after a double steal, and a ball went into the outfield, now trying to get out of it. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The off-speed low and away. Aloy couldn't hold up, and it's a K for Max Stammel to get out of the top of the 4th inning after giving up just 1 run. He struck out both the guys that he saw to get his 2 outs. So we'll go into the bottom of the 4th, but before that, we'd like to thank Cape Cod Veterinary Services. They're here for your pets when it matters most, with expert emergency and specialty care available 24/7. Their compassionate team is dedicated to keeping your furry family members healthy and happy. Located in Buzzards Bay and Dennis, Cape Cod Vet Services is proud to support the local community and the Bourne Braves. Learn more at CapeCodVetSpecialists.com. Angel's Touch in Bourne is your trusted family-oriented destination for expert collision repair, detailing, and classic car restoration. Whether it's a fender bender or a full custom rebuild, their certified technicians deliver top-quality craftsmanship with a personal touch. Located on MacArthur Boulevard, Angel's Touch is proud to serve the Cape Cod community and support your Bourne Braves. Learn more at CapeCodAutoBodyAndDetailing.com. We'll step aside, be back for the bottom of the fourth in a moment.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
In the bottom of the fourth inning, the score Hyannis 5, Bourne 4. We're back after just about a 90-minute rain delay. Bourne scored 1 run in the top of the fourth inning to make it a 1-run game, and Will Whalen, the left-hander out of the University of Minnesota, is into the game for the Braves. The lefter comes in relief for Jonathan Stevens, who pitched prior to the rain. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 run on 2 walks, a strikeout, and 2 hits. The first pitch to Ryan McKay is a ball inside, and the count 1-0. McKay has had an excellent day so far, 2 singles and 3 RBIs. He brought home 2 his last time up in the bottom of the second. Whalen takes a deep breath. The lefty kicks and fires. Big swing and a miss. The count 1 ball, 1 strike. Hyannis scored a run in every inning so far, 2 in each of the first and second innings and 1 in the third. Here's the set and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Another off-speed low and away. It's 1-2.
Adam, to that point, it'll be interesting to see how Hyannis can come back from this suspension and reinvigorate their offense. Some teams can come back like they never took a break, and others might not have the same fire they did before.
Whalen sets, takes a deep breath. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit on the ground towards first. It's fielded by Cade Lewis. He takes it himself and steps on the bag for out number 1. So a good start for Will Whalen, the lefty on the mound, who has been nothing short of spectacular this summer. He, in 7 innings, hasn't given up any runs. He has struck out 7 and walked just 4. Whalen, last time out, pitched on June 28th, so it's been a while since he last pitched. In that outing, he went an inning and a third, didn't give up any hits. He walked 1, struck out 2, and hit a batter. First pitch to Gabe Camacho, misses the zone.
You're throwing out 2 really good relief pitchers. If you're Bourne, Jonathan Stevens kind of gets his day cut short, and Will Whalen, also a pitcher who has yet to allow an earned run. This is a hefty set of arms you're putting against Hyannis.
Whalen brings glove to belt. Here's the pitch. It's fouled off over the netting behind home plate, and the count 1-1. It's definitely much quieter here at McKeon Park after the rain. A number of fans went home, and there's probably about the same amount of interns and scouts remaining as there are fans, if not more interns and scouts than fans. The kick on the 1-1. Misses inside on a fastball. It's 2-1. The lights are shining bright here at McKeon Park. It's completely dark after the storm has passed through. There are some low clouds, but it doesn't seem like any true fog rolling in. The 2-1. A looper misses inside. Count runs up to 3-1. Walks have been an issue for the Bourne pitching staff in this game. Already 4 through 3 innings. Whalen comes to the belt and offers. Swung on and hits softly towards the right side. The first baseman, Lewis, gobbles it up, tosses an underhand to first, and it gets away from Whalen. The pitcher was trying to cover the bag, but the underhand throw was a little bit off the mark. Whalen couldn't bring it in. And that'll be scored as a infield single for the first baseman, Gabe Camacho.
That's both a really tough play for Cade Lewis and Will Whalen. If Whalen's a lefty, that's an out, but he had to barehand it with his left hand going up the line. Not an easy play to make, and on the other side for Lewis, a tough ball to first place in the field.
Sawyer Black, another left-handed hitter, stands in. Whalen looks over to first. Small lead for Camacho. The pitch misses upstairs on a fastball. Black 0 for 1 with a walk. He's now 2 for 7 on the season with 4 strikeouts. As the pitch. There's a called strike on the low and outside part of the plate. Black comes out of the University of North Carolina. A Tar Heel native to the Tar Heel State. He grew up in Greensboro. Whalen's pitch is fouled off over towards the first base side. Greensboro, a town that, in my mind, will always be known for the Greensboro Coliseum, the longtime host to the ACC basketball tournaments.
I was thinking of the civil rights movement there, the Greensboro sit-ins.
Yeah, no, personally, basketball is what came to mind as the pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. That's out number 2 of the bottom of the 4th inning. So Jeff Luigi comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, but has been swinging a really hot bat recently. The left-handed hitter went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs back on Sunday. He was really the only offense for the Harbor Hawks in the 10-4 loss at the Brewster Whitecaps. 2 outs, runner on first. Harbor Hawks up by 1. Here's the pitch. And misses upstairs, and the count 1-0. That Brewster Whitecaps team has been a very, very interesting one as of late. They seem to either blow teams out or get blown out, winning 10-4 on Sunday, losing 19-3 on Saturday, and losing 10-2 on Friday. Whalen's 1-0. This is low, and the count 2-0. Whitecaps have just been an unpredictable team all season. They started off with their best record in team history. A big win streak to start the season, but have been a bit iffy since then. 2-0. Big swing and a miss on a fastball, and it's 2-1. Brewster does currently lead the Wareham Gatemen 4-2. That game is in the top of the 8th inning at Wareham. Whalen's 2-1. Big swing and a miss. Count 2-2 here with 2 outs, and Whalen can get out of this and get the first scoreless inning of the day for the Braves. The left-hander takes a long look in. His left arm hanging down. He now brings ball to glove at the belt. A look over to first. Now home. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and fouled off over towards the on-deck circle on the Hyannis side where Jason Walk is standing. Bourne's infield shifted to the right against the left-handed hitter. Braden Holcomb, the third baseman, playing well off the line. Time called as Campbell Smithwick, the Bourne catcher, is adjusting his catcher's mask. Seems to be some sort of an issue. He's getting some help now from the home plate umpire, Austin Purcell.
He's been having some difficulty with his gear today. Fetched a new glove earlier in this game, too.
Had the webbing come undone in his glove earlier, so he had to use Gavin Kelly's. And it seems to be an issue that's at least unfixable for the moment for Campbell Smithwick as he makes his way towards the Bourne dugout and hands his mask now to Scott Landers to get work done. And so with this quick pause, we'll look at some of the other scores around the Cape League. Most of the games still pretty early on because of the rain. We are back in action, though, in 3 games. One game is already complete, that the Orleans at Catuit game, which did go full and end in a 2-2 tie, assuming that ended early due to darkness, considering it was at Lowell Park, and the game ended after 8 o'clock. But the other games in action right now, the Falmouth Commodores lead the Harwich Mariners 6-4. That game is in the top of the 6th inning. Mariners went up 3-1, then the Commodores fought back and scored 5 unanswered. As Campbell Smithwick seems to have gotten a new mask to put in front of his Ole Miss helmet as he's ready. Whalen comes set to get out of the inning. The 2-2 pitch is fouled off down the third base line and will continue on. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gabe Camacho standing on first base, being held on the bag by Cade Lewis. Harborhawks already have 9 hits today through 3 2/3. Looking to keep this inning going. The pitch swung on, hit hard down the right field line. That's a fair ball. It bounced just beyond the edge of the grass. So it's a long run for Kahio Aloy and an easy jog into third base for Gabe Camacho. A 2-out single for Jeff Luigi. It's runners on the corners for the Harborhawks. There were 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hyannis already has 10 hits today. It's Jason Walk, the right-handed hitter, digs into the box, looking to extend his team's lead. Walk 0 for 1 with a walk today. The play that his name is the same as came with the bases loaded. First pitch. This is outside. It's 1-0. So Walk did earn an RBI, his 4th of the season. That walk was also just his 4th of the year. You'd think a guy who shares the name would maybe have a little bit more in 12 games. Here's the 1-0. Pitch runs inside, and the count 2-0. Bourne's defense now playing straight up against the right-handed hitter. The lefty Whalen comes to the belt and quickly fires to first, but back in time with a head-first dive is Jeff Luigi. He's not a very fast runner, doesn't have any stolen bases this summer. But Whalen trying to keep him close. It's a decently big lead at first for Luigi. Whalen looks back over and now fires. Misses barely below the zone. And the count 3-1. Lawrence pitcher wipes some dirt on his hand, adjusts his hat. It's a very humid evening, and that's definitely making an impact on the pitchers. Here's the kick in the 3-0. Called strike. On the pitch inside, it's 3-1. Harborhawks lead by 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Jason Walk has a runner 90 feet away and a chance to extend it. Another pickoff attempt back once again is Luigi. That was another rocket from the left-handed pitcher, Will Whalen. Whalen shakes off the first sign he gets. And now comes set. A look over to first. The high kick in the 3-1. A swing and a drive into center field. It turns LeGrand around, but he's able to square up to the ball and make the catch for out number 3. So a bit of danger in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 base hits for the Harborhawks, but Will Whalen works his way out of it and strands both men on. So we go into the 5th inning with the score 5-4 Harborhawks here on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network and Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Into the 5th inning at McKeon Park. The score is still 5-4. Harbor Hawks lead the Braves. If you're thinking, my goodness, how the heck is it the 5th inning and 9:30 p.m.? Well, we just got finished with about a 90-minute rain delay. There was very little actual rain, just thunder in the area. So the field is in basically perfect condition, if not a little bit better than normal, because it probably could have used a bit of water. First pitch to Cade Lewis. Runs in and hits him. So not the start to the top of the 5th that Max Stammel was hoping for. He beans the first man he sees. And Braden Holcomb comes up with Cade Lewis on to start off this inning. Holcomb 0 for 1 today. He went down swinging for the 23rd time to end the first inning, but did walk for the 9th time this season and make it all the way to second base back in the 3rd. Right-handed hitter digs in and taps his bat against the plate. Stammel looks to first and fires. A called strike on a pitch low and inside, 0-1. Harbor Hawks outfield playing back against Holcomb, the power hitter. He does have just 2 extra base hits this season. Had one of them a few days ago and had a pair of 100-mile-an-hour hits a couple days ago. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss on an off-speed. Holcomb was out in front of it. It's 0-2. Infield and double play formation. With Cade Lewis on first base, he takes a 3-step lead. The set, a look over to first at Lewis and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and outside, strike 3. Braden Holcomb goes down on 3 pitches. That's the 3rd strikeout already for Max Stammel. And John LeGrande stands in. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. LeGrande in the number 7 spot today. He was at the top of the order for most of the season, but since being moved down has played just as well. He's up to 8 RBIs on the season. First pitch, big swing and a miss on an off-speed, 0-1.
He's a very happy-go-lucky player. Doesn't think too much in a very good way, and that's why he's been able to perform if he's in or out of the lineup or if he's at the top or bottom of the order.
LeGrande waves his bat above his head. The 0-1. Just misses on a fastball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. LeGrande could be departing very soon. He is a draft-eligible player after spending 2 years at the junior college level and 1 year at St. John's. 1-1. Fouled off, straight to the backstop. The MLB draft gets underway on Sunday. That's July 13th. The first through 3rd rounds are Sunday night. That's the first 105 picks. And then rounds 4 through 20 are Monday. And the league does have an off day that day. LeGrand chokes up the 1-2. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. Another fastball from Stammel, and he's already got 4 strikeouts. That's all of his outs since entering the game.
And all 4 of them have come in the last 5 batteries. He's really finding control right now, and if not for that hiccup against Cade Lewis, it would be potentially 4 in a row or something similar, just to emphasize how well he's coming to this game against the Braves.
Bourne sends a pinch hitter to the plate here in the top of the 5th inning. With the score, Hyannis 5, Bourne 4. It's Ryan Cooney coming in for Gavin Kelly. First pitch. Fastball upstairs. It's 1-0. Kelly was the designated hitter, so this change most likely doesn't affect anything in the field. Lewis takes the lead at first. Here's the pitch. Off speed misses low. It's 2-0 to Cooney. The Oregon Duck went 0 for 3 back on Sunday. He did walk and come in to score. Here's the pitch. Outside, a ball. Cooney ahead 3-0. Stammel to the belt. Short lead at first for Lewis. The pitch. In for a strike. Fastball up and outside. Cooney's hitting exactly 100 on the season. He's walked twice and ahead in the count 3-1. Throw over to first. Lewis back in standing up. Campbell Smithwick on deck. He is Bourne's number 9 hitter. Then it's the top of the order up. Riker Waite, Logan Hughes, Cam Kojal. Cooney trying to get to them. The 3-1. Misses outside. Ball 4 on a fastball. It's the 3rd walk of the season for Ryan Cooney. Bourne has 2 on with 2 outs with the catcher Campbell Smithwick up to the plate.
If Smithwick can find a way on, boy, would that be huge. Get back to the top of the order and try and tie this ball game. Riker Waite is the perfect guy to have up, especially today with the bases loaded.
Riker Waite on deck is 3 for 3. Campbell Smithwick at the plate, 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch, upstairs fastball, and it's 1-0. Harborhawks shifted to the right against the left-handed hitter. The shortstop Schaffner playing directly behind second base. Outfield back. First baseman Camacho playing back and tight to the line. The pitch misses upstairs. Throw back into second, and that gets into the outfield. Cade Lewis is on his way to third. I believe they called interference as both runners slide in anyways, but the third base umpire Jeff Fonseca was pointing at the shortstop Schaffner, so Lewis probably would have been awarded the bag anyways, but he makes it to third, and Ryan Cooney advances to second. So now 2 in scoring position for Campbell Smithwick, and a base hit could give Bourne the lead. Smithwick has 2 runs batted in this summer. The count 2-0. Stamo now in a lot of danger with 2 outs and his team up by 1. Left-hander kicks and fires. Finds the zone on a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball at the knees. Cade Lewis on third. Ryan Cooney 90 feet behind him at second, both with big leads. Stamo deals the 2-1. Bounces it off the plate, but a good block by the catcher Briggs. Brody Briggs may have just saved a run there. That ball bounced off the plate and easily could have got him past. Bourne has already scored 2 runs tonight on Briggs' throwing errors, but he saves a run there. 3-1 the count. Stamo, high kick in the pitch. Called strike, top of the zone fastball. Counts full. 3-2 with 2 outs. The runners will not have head starts with first base empty. A walk here wouldn't be the end of the world, but the top of the order is up next. Stamo to the belt, the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Max Stamo here in the top of the 5th inning, and just like that, Bourne has the bases loaded for its hottest hitter, Riker Waite. The leadoff man in the lineup, 3 for 3 today. He's already scored 2 runs, and he already has an RBI. That came back in the 2nd inning. A 4th hit could give Bourne the lead with a score of 5-4 here in the top of the 5th. First pitch, Waite watches a fastball in for a strike at the top of the zone. The switch hitter batting from the right side against the left-handed pitcher. This is the first time he's doing that today. The pitch bounces in front of the plate. Lewis charging home, and Briggs can't cleanly bring it in. Bourne ties it up at 5. Cade Lewis scores on a wild pitch. Bourne has scored just 1 of its runs today on an RBI. The other 4 have all come on errors or now a wild pitch. And so 2 in scoring position with the count 1-1 and 2 outs as Cooney advanced to third and Smith to second. The pitch to Waite misses inside, and the count 2-1. Waite's got 9 RBIs this season. Cade Lewis, who just scored, the only other Brave in double digits. The pitch runs far inside, and the count 3-1 to Riker Waite. Stamo takes a long look in. Another walk would load the bases for Logan Hughes, who has 2 hits today. The 3-1 swung on and lifted in the air towards right center field, heading to the gap. Walk moves over, and he makes the catch over his head before leaping into the wall on the warning track. A great play by Jason Walk in center field keeps the score even. It's 5-5 in the middle of the 5th inning. Before we step aside, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community. Conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal, visit us at KeystonePlace@BuzzardsBay.com. Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at MartyChevrolet.com, and go Braves. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th in a moment. It's 8-9-1 due up for the Harbor Hawks.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The catcher from Arizona State, number 32, Brody Briggs.
Bottom of the 5th inning, the score 5-5. Will Whalen back out onto the bump for the Braves into his 2nd inning of work. He got into a bit of a jam in the bottom of the 4th, put 2 runners on, but was able to get out of it. He faces off against 8-9-1 in the Harbor Hawks order for the first time. Brody Briggs, the left-handed hitter, stands in. Here's the first pitch. Briggs shows bunt, pulls it back. It misses low, and the count 1-0. Briggs walked his last time up, was out at second in a double play. He grounded out to first base to end the 1st inning. Whalen's 1-0. Fastball upstairs. Harbor Hawks are already to 10 hits on the day. Braves have just 6. The big difference on the scoreboard, though, is Hyannis has 4 errors to Bourne 0. The 2-0. Swinging a foul ball back towards the Harbor Hawks on deck circle. The count 2-1. Briggs waves his bat back and forth. The left-hander out of Arizona State ready in the box. Whalen, the big kick in the pitch, misses up and in. It's 3-1. Bourne's infield shifted a bit to the right against the left-handed hitter. Cade Lewis at first base playing a bit back. Outfield straight up. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a ground ball towards first. Easy play for Cade Lewis. He puts his glove straight between his legs and takes it to first for out number 1.
We've seen Cade Lewis bounce around a lot defensively, but I've got to be pretty honest here. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him today at first base. He's looked really solid, one of his best defensive games on the season for some pretty tough balls hit his way, Adam.
That's the 3rd ground ball out to Cade Lewis today. Charlie Bates, the 3rd baseman, stands in, another left-handed hitter. Whalen's pitch. Low and outside, a ball. Bates 2 for 2 today. He has come in to score twice in both the 2nd and 3rd innings. He's the number 9 hitter for Hyannis, and he's now scored 16 runs on the season. Pitch misses low and outside. It's 2-0. It's pretty incredible that Bates, his batting average is just .217. He Has walked just 2 times, yet he has scored now 16 runs. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss on a fastball upstairs. Not many fans left in attendance after the rainout. A very quiet night here at McKeon Park as Whalen kicks and fires the 2-1. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. This is the first time this season that a game has been resumed after a rain delay. This is the second time this year that we have seen rain. The first time came back on July 3rd, and Bourne won in 5 innings against Wareham. 2-2. Called strike 3 on a fastball up and outside. Second strikeout for Will Whalen. Second out of the bottom of the 5th inning. That sends back up the top of the order. Jake Schaffner, the shortstop out of North Carolina, makes his way into the left-handed box.
Whalen continuing to work extremely well right now. You got to imagine these Hyannis bats coming off this break are a little bit cold and just need that spark. The top of the order could do it. They've been the most successful.
Whalen hasn't given up a run this season. The kick in the first pitch. Called strike at the knees. Another fastball. It's 0-1. Schaffner scored 2 runs already today. He's now crossed home 5 times this season. The 0-1. Another called strike on a fastball upstairs. It's 0-2. Schaffner's 5 runs come in just 9 games. This Harborhawks offense has been one of the best in the league. They entered today leading all of the Cape in batting average at .255. Already double-digit hits today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This is outside on a fastball, and it's 1-2. Bourne trying to keep this game even against the high-powered Hyannis offense. Braves have looked really good offensively as of late. However, their 4.05 runs per game entering today was worst in the league. Whalen's 1-2. Fouled off down the third base line, out of play. Whalen, the high kick in the pitch. Swung on and lifted, high in the air, down the third base line, towards foul territory. Braden Holcomb makes the catch as his hat flies off before running into the warning track near the Hyannis bullpen, and that is out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Will Whalen, the first time today that either squad has gone down 1-2-3. As we go into the 6th inning, the score 5-5. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
We're in the top of the 6th inning. The score is Bourne 5, Hyannis 5. Welcome back into McKeon Park. Adam Gotkin alongside Devon Jarvis. What a day it's been so far. It was a very entertaining start to the game. Both teams put up crooked crooked numbers in the first inning. It was 2-2, and then Hyannis went up 5-3, and we had a rain delay, and since then, Bourne scored 2 in a row. First pitch to Logan Hughes is popped up in towards the third base side of the field, and the third baseman, Charlie Bates, makes the catch on the outfield grass for out number 1. Bravo's offense has scored a run in every inning but the third today. Everyone throughout this lineup has been productive. The only man to not reach base so far is Cam Kojal. He's 0 for 2 with a pop-out. The left-handed hitter stands in. The lefty Stammel kicks and fires. Kojal swings and hits it hard towards the right side. A backhand grab by the first baseman, Camacho. He sends it to the pitcher covering, and Stammel steps on the pillow for out number 2. Very quickly, it's 2 up, 2 down for the Braves. That's 2 outs on 2 pitches for Max Stammel. Kahio Aloy, the cleanup hitter, comes up with the bases empty. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Aloy, the big righty, stands in. First pitch. This is low, and the count 1-0. Not much of a shift against Aloy, except for the outfield playing a bit back. Stammel stats and deals. Big swing and a miss on a fastball. Aloy going for the fences there. The count 1-1. It is a relatively short field here at McKeon Park. 324 down the left field line, 379 in straightaway center. And then, you know, it says 358 in right as the 1-1 misses up and outside. However, that is probably the shortest 358 I've ever seen. It looks to be maybe a little bit shorter than left field just on the eye test.
Yeah, it's a bit of an optical illusion because of how tall the fence is, I think, Adam.
Pitch outside for a ball. It's 3-1.
The entire field looks shorter than the distances displayed, but it's probably out an 8 feet, 7 feet tall wall, close to it.
Stammel comes to the belt. Base is empty, 2 outs, the 3-1. That bounces in front of the plate, and it's ball 4. Kahio Aloy walks his way to first base. That's the second time he's walked today, 6th time this season. Cade Lewis stands in. He's had a great day so far at the plate. Just 1 for 1 with a single into center back of the first. However, he reached on a walk in the third and reached on a hit by a pitch in the 5th. He then came in to score. Stammel to the belt, first pitch. That runs in and hits Lewis again. So for the second time in as many innings, Max Stammel has hit Cade Lewis. And Bourne now has 2 on for Braden Holcomb. Kahio Aloy at second base represents the go-ahead run.
Bourne has just capitalized tremendously off Hyannis' mistakes today. While they have scored 5, the critique you can give to them is that their runs are coming off wild pitches and errors. You want to start to see that develop into the bats, but as long as Hyannis keeps making mistakes at him, you might as well keep scoring runs off of him.
First and second with 2 outs, 5-5 in the top of the 6th. Braden Holcomb at the plate is 0 for 2 today with a walk. Both of his outs have been strikeout swinging. His last one came in the last inning. First pitch misses outside on an off-speed. 78-mile-an-hour slider, and the count 1-0. Aloy at second, Lewis at first, both taking sizable leads. Neither the fastest of runners, but base hits should score at least Aloy. The 1-0, another off-speed, low and outside, 2-0. There's a pretty big hole in the left side of the infield. The third baseman, Bates, playing close to the line, while the shortstop, Schaffner, is playing in his regular spot. Stammel sets the kick and the pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 straight off speeds to Braden Holcomb. None of them have found the zone. And Bourne's third baseman is a ball away from heading to first and loading the bases. Stamel to the belt. High kick in the pitch. Upstairs, outside fastball, ball 4. That's a 4-pitch walk to Braden Holcomb. Walk, hit by pitch, walk, and Bourne has the bases loaded here in the top of the 6th inning in a tie game, but a visit out to the mound. It's the pitching coach for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, Blaze Martinez, to try and calm down his left-hander, as John LeGrand is due up next. He'll have the bases loaded with 2 outs. The score 5-5.
A little bit of warm-up getting going in the Hyannis bullpen, but with that mound visit, there was no action at all before. So it's going to be Stamel in this game for a little while, and if he can't figure it out soon, this Bourne team has a chance to really pile on runs right now, Adam.
This is LeGrand's 3rd plate appearance of the season with the bases loaded. He's 1 for 2 with 4 RBIs and a sacrifice fly. Gahio Aloy on 3rd, Cade Lewis on 2nd, Braden Holcomb on 1st. Tie game, 2 outs, top of the 6th. First pitch, runs inside and hits LeGrand. Gahio Aloy comes in to score, and Bourne takes the lead. It's 6-5 here in the top of the 6th inning, and the Bravos have still scored just 1 run tonight on an RBI, base hit. I mean, what a way to take the lead. That's technically just the 2nd RBI of the day, and it comes on a hit by pitch.
Really, really odd, Adam. You don't see this often, but Bourne just taking advantage of these mistakes, exactly what they should be doing.
First pitch to Ryan Cooney, a fastball up and outside. The count 1-0. Cooney came in as a pinch hitter in the last inning. He's in the designated hitter spot. He's still got the bases loaded. The 1-0. Swinging a foul tip back into the glove of the catcher Briggs. It's 1-1. The Braves have decent speed on base. Cade Lewis is at 3rd, but behind him, Braden Holcomb at 2nd is one of the Braves' fastest players. He leads the team in steals. 1-1. Popped up straight back out of play. The runner at 1st, John LeGrand, is tied for 2nd on the team in steals, just 1 behind Holcomb's 9. Ryan Cooney digs back in. Left on right. The 1-2. Up and outside. It's 2-2. Cooney is still searching for his first RBI on the summer. Could bring home at least 1 with the base hit. Braves up by 1. The 2-2 pitch is swung on, hit very softly towards center field. This could drop, and it does. Cade Lewis scores. Here comes Holcomb. He's in. It's a 2 RBI single for Gavin Kelly, and it's 8-5 Braves in the top of the 6th.
The catcher from Mississippi, number 45, Campbell Smithwick.
That's actually Ryan Cooney, sorry, not Gavin Kelly. He came in as a pinch hitter. And so he has his first 2 RBIs on the season, and Campbell Smithwick stands in. With runners on the corners, and the Braves up by 3. The pitch. Call it strike, and it's 0-1. So a big base hit for Ryan Cooney, one that he really needed, as he was without any RBIs on the summer. Braves up by 3 and looking for more as John LeGrand stands on 3rd and Cooney's on 1st. The pitch, runner going. It's in for a strike. Throw into 2nd is cut off, and Cooney's in a pickle. He runs towards 2nd. Now LeGrand's home. The throw home, and LeGrand runs away from the tag. The ball drops, but LeGrand is out. He's out because he slapped the ball out of the glove of the catcher. Austin Preisel, the home plate umpire, called it right away. And so LeGrand is out at home for trying to slap the ball out of the glove of the catcher, and that is out number 3 of the top of the 6th. But the Braves take a big, big lead. It's a 3-run advantage for the Bravos at the end of the top of the 6th inning after the Ryan Cooney 2 RBI single and the John LeGrand hit by pitch with the bases loaded. Are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape's own Keith Bildo? Then join us at the K-Plex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the K-Plex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at thek-plex.com. Elevate your game at the K-Plex. Picasso Hardware, your hometown hardware store. Whether you're fixing up the house, tackling a weekend project, or just need expert advice, Picasso Hardware has you covered with top-notch service and all the tools you need. Conveniently located in the heart of Picasso, stop by and see why they're a Cape Cod favorite. Picasso Hardware, where community and quality come together. Back for the bottom of the 6th in a moment. It's 8-5 Braves.
You can dream it. If you can cruise in it. If you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
A big top of the 6th inning for the Bourne Braves. They now lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 8-5. And Will Whalen is back out onto the bump for the Braves. He's into his 3rd inning of work, and he has been excellent so far. Hasn't given up a run yet. He put Hyannis down 1-2-3 for the first time today, his last time out. Now it's 2-3-4 up in the Harbor Hawks order. The designated hitter Matthew Mura stands in. He is 2 for 2 with a walk today. First pitch from Whalen, misses upstairs on a fastball.
If Whalen keeps doing what he's doing, he's just setting Bourne up perfectly to contain and keep this lead. He's been 3 innings once before, and he's going to try and match that if he can stay through this one right here.
Whalen comes set. Here's the kick in the 1-0. Called strike on the inside part of the plate, 1-1.
And in fact, the last time he went 3 innings in relief was against the same Hyannis team where he only allowed 3 hits and no earned runs.
Whalen's given up 2 hits so far in this outing. He's got 2 strikeouts, hasn't walked anyone. The 1-1 runs low and inside. It's 2-1. Braves have scored a run in every inning but the 3rd. The Harbor Hawks scored a run in each of the first 3 but have been shut out 2 in a row. The 2-1 bounces just behind the plate into the glove of the catcher Smithwick, and so the count now 3-1 to Mura. He walked back in the 1st inning and then came in to score. Another ball would send him to first. Whalen at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards the 3rd base side. It just goes foul. Braden Holcomb fielded it standing in fair territory, but the ball bounced just a few inches left of the line behind 3rd base. So Mura makes his way back into the box with the count now full, 3-2.
Almost wanted to see the gun of Braden Holcomb tested right there. Would have been a tough play.
Mura is one of the fastest players in the Harbor Hawks. He stands back in, the count full, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. The fastball just barely missed. And it's a leadoff walk for Matthew Mura's 2nd time walking today. That brings Ryan McKay up. He's already got 3 RBIs on the night. A single in the 1st brought home 1. A single in the 2nd brought home 2. Now he's got a runner on 1st with no outs in the bottom of the 6th and his team down by 3. Holcomb playing in at 3rd. The first pitch in for a strike on an off-speed low and outside. Perfectly placed right on the corner of the zone from Whalen. And he goes ahead 0-1. Whalen at the belt, looks over to first. The pitch. Swinging a line drive towards center field. LeGrand moves a few steps to his left and makes the catch on the run for out number 1. LeGrande brings it in.
San Diego, number 10, Gabe Camacho.
And Gabe Camacho makes his way to the plate. He's another Harbor Hawk who's had a really solid day so far, 2 for 3. 10 hits on the day for Hyannis, the team that leads the league in batting average. But they do trail by 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Whalen checks to first and deals. That's fouled off over the third base side. 0-1. You're not taking the biggest lead at first base. He is 7 for 8 stealing this summer. It does lead the Harbor Hawks in steals. The 0-1. Off speed at 78 miles an hour, just below the knees, 1-1.
Mira's also been rather hesitant in the base path today on base hits. We had an instance just a few innings ago where he was on third and didn't want to come home with the ball to the outfield.
The pitch runs in and hits Camacho. So it's a walk and a hit by pitch to put 2 on for Sawyer Black.
Number 34, Sawyer Black.
The right fielder represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He is 0 for 2 today, though, with 2 strikeouts swinging and a walk. But first, Scott Landers is on his way out of the dugout to talk with his left-hander, Will Whalen. There is action in the Bourne bullpen, but hasn't been a point just yet, so Whalen could stay in, and it appears for now that he will, as Scott Landers is out having a conversation with his left-handed pitcher. The whole infield is also out there, and Landers gives a fist bump to his southpaw and makes his way back towards the dugout. So Whalen will stay in with runners on first and second and 1 out. Braves lead by 3, but with how this game has gone so far, it doesn't seem like any lead will be safe. Both teams are swinging the bat really well. Sawyer Black still looking for his first RBI of the summer. Pitch. Big swing and a miss, so 1. Black is 2 for 8. One of his hits was a double. Whalen peeks back to second. Here it takes a bigger lead as the pitch misses low. Bourne in double play formation in the infield. Turning 2 would end the inning. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-2. The Braves are a strike away from getting the second out. Nate Wysong, a right-hander out of Wake Forest, is the man getting loose in the Bourne bullpen. He's been one of the better arms this season for the Braves. Whalen looks back to second and throws, but back barely in time is Mura with a head-first dive. Black, the left-handed hitter, with a bit of an open stance. The 1-2 pitch. Misses inside on an off-speed. It's 2-2. Whalen has hit a batter and walked one here in the 6th. One out came on a flyout. The lefty steps off the back of the mound and resets the pitch clock. He now steps back on the rubber and comes set. A peek back to second. Small lead for Mura. Now the pitch. Called strike 3. Whalen gets his third K of the night, his second looking. Jeff Luigi, now the batter. He is 1 for 3 today, singled his last time up.
An incredibly clutch strikeout right there from Whalen. Exactly what he needed. You diffuse this situation quite a bit, even with the runner in scoring position now that you have 2 outs.
First pitch, Luigi takes a fastball upstairs. Mira at second base. He's one of the faster runners on the Harbor Hawks. Camacho behind him at first. Whalen looks back to second. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Fastball just below the knees. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw back to second, and that gets almost into the outfield. Riker Waite tapped it away. But a good job by Cam Koziel to keep it in the infield. Whalen leans in. Looks back to second. Here's the 2-1. Up and outside, a fastball just missed the corner. Actually, the count's now 2-2. It was 1-2 before that pitch. A mistake on the scoreboard. So Whalen can get out of this with a strike. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Braves up 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Off speed upstairs. Count runs full. 3-2 with 2 outs, so both runners will have head starts. A base hit would for sure bring home Mura from second. Camacho at first also has some wheels under him. Here's the payoff. Got him looking, strike 3. Slider low and outside, perfectly painted, and that's the 3rd strikeout looking, the 4th of the day for Will Whalen. And we are through 6. The score, 8-5 Bourne. Before we step aside, we'll go to our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky.
Well, Adam, Mets first baseman and former Brave Pete Alonso was selected for his 5th appearance in the MLB All-Star Game. Alonso played for the Braves back in 2015 before being drafted the next year. He's been in the Home Run Derby as well each year. It has been held since his rookie season in 2019. He won his first 2 derbies in 2019 and 2021, and he reached the semifinals in 2022. He decided to opt out of the derby this year to enjoy more of the time off from playing and be prepared to do anything he can to help the Mets win the second half of the season, he said.
Well, Ariel, thank you so much. And by the way, the best Pete Alonso stat, he had 0 home runs in his time on Cape Cod, but now one of the best home run hitters in Major League Baseball. Well, we'll step aside, be back for the 7th in a moment. Braves lead 8-5.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Max Stammel's day is done. The left-handed pitcher for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. After 2 2/3, he gave up 4 runs and gave up the lead, so his day's done, and it's a left-hander out of Auburn, Griffin Graves, in relief with his team down by 3, looking to keep this game where it is. He'll go up against Campbell Smithwick, the Bourne catcher and number 9 hitter, who is 0 for 1 with 2 walks today. Braves very small stature out on the mound, just 5'10", 176 pounds. They'll look to keep this game where it is. First pitch to Smithwick. Big swing and a miss on a fastball. It's 0-1. Braves have scored a run in each of the last 3 innings, and every inning but the third today. The pitch, fastball in for a strike at 92, and it's 0-2. Bravos have a cooking number in the first and fifth innings, scoring 2 and 6. Had 1 in each of the second, fourth, and fifth. The 0-2. Fastball just misses up and outside. It's 1-2. Mentioned this before, but we are less than a week away from the MLB draft. Round 1 is on Sunday. Round 4 through 20 on Monday. I should say 1, 2, 3 on Sunday as the pitch misses in the dirt, and it's 2-2 to Smithwick. There will be Bourne Braves all over the place, especially in the first night of the draft. ESPN released its top 250 draft prospects earlier today, and there are 2024 Bravos all over the list. The 2-2 swung on, bounced back up the middle, and that rolls through for a base hit. It's rolling into the outfield, a long run for walk. Smithwick took a long turnaround first before retreating back. And so a leadoff single for Smithwick, and it's the top of the order, and Riker Wade up. Bourne's shortstop, he's 3 for 4 today. Last year's Bourne shortstop, Merrick Houston, is the top-ranked Brave on the ESPN Top 250. He came in at number 23. And there was another Brave right behind him, Caden Botine, who is a 2-year Bravo. First pitch to Wade, he pops up a bunt. There were 5 Braves who were on last year's team in ESPN's Top 50. Ethan Conrad, 30th, Mason Neville, 43rd, and J.D. Thompson, 47th. There were then 100 other players listed before 4 other Braves found their way in the top 250. Landon Vitterick, the outfielder, Adonis Guzman, who played 2 years for the Braves, Griffin Hugas, and Joe Ariola as the 0-1. Is a called strike, and it's 0-2.
Just a testament to how good of a recruiter Scott Landers is, and why this team has been so successful is because he can recognize that talent and not only grab the top guys, but the diamonds in the rough, too.
Now, balk as Griffin Groves is absolutely flabbergasted out on the mound, asking the umpire what he did. But it's a balk, and it moves Campbell Smithwick to second. You have to imagine that in addition to those 9, there will be a number of other former Braves and potentially even current Braves drafted. A bunch of guys on those 2023, 2022 championship teams as the 0-2 pitch. It's fouled back by Waite. But those squads were so deep that, especially on Monday when you get into the 10th to 20th rounds and there's a new player drafted every 5 seconds, you'll have to keep a close eye because there's probably going to be a Brave sprinkled in there every once in a while. The 0-2. Waite fouls off another one. It is nice this year that the Cape League is given an off day on day 2 of the MLB draft. Although at the same time, it is kind of a shame that you miss out on being there when players are selected. That's always one of the coolest parts of the Cape League, are players, whether it's in the bullpen or in the dugout, getting the call while playing. We probably won't get that this season. The 0-2 popped up out of play down the first base line. The only chance for that would be probably Henry Ford and Chatham, who is a top 100 prospect, but the question is whether he stays until the draft or maybe goes home because he could be a first-day pick. The 0-2 hit hard back up the middle. A nice play by the second baseman, McKay. He goes to first, and there's the out. However, Campbell Smithwick did advance all the way to third, and so it's essentially just a sac bunt for Riker Wade. Bourne has another man 90 feet away with one gone, and Logan Hughes standing up.
4 impactful at-bats today for Riker Waite. 3 of them with a hit, and one of them right there puts a runner 90 feet away. You gotta love what you've been seeing from him recently. It seems like his identity at the start of this season was what he could do with his glove. Now it's been both. He can bring the bat and really change games with it.
Good job there to advance the runner 90 feet. The entire infield in with 1 out, and the Braves up by 3 in the top of the 7th. First pitch, in for a strike on a fastball down the middle to Logan Hughes. Other guys around the Cape League who could get drafted pretty high this season that were on rosters. J.T. Quinn, another Chatham right-hander out of Georgia, is a big name to watch. The 0-1, big swing and a miss. It's 0-2. There's a number of guys on the Chatham A's last year who could be high picks. Ivar Kett, shortstop out of Oregon State. Both Kyson and Malachi Witherspoon, as the 0-2 pitch is called. Strike 3 on a fastball low and outside. So Logan Hughes goes down by way of a strikeout for the second time today, and that is the second out of the top of the 7th. Ike Irish also played for the Chatham Anglers for a bit last year. He could also be a first-round pick. However, most likely there will not be a Cape Leaguer drafted 1-1 unless something crazy happens. First pitch to Kojal, a swing and a miss. Right now there is really, you could say, 4 or 5 different players who could get drafted number 1 overall by the Washington Nationals, and none of them Cape Leaguers. The 0-1, swing and a miss on a fastball outside. It's 0-2.
Your Washington Nationals.
Yes, and there's really just a plethora of guys they could pick, either out of the college ranks. Pitchers Liam Doyle, Jamie Arnold, as the 0-2 misses outside on a fastball. You also have Cade Anderson, 3 really talented pitchers. None of them played out on the Cape. And then you go down to the high school players that are big this year. Ethan Holiday, the younger brother of Jackson Holiday, as the 1-2 is lifted in the air towards right field. That sends Black back towards the track, and he makes the catch before running into the wall for outs number 3. So that does it for the top of the 7th. But before we go to break, just want to quickly say there is a connection between Ethan Holiday and the Cape League because his grandfather is Tom Holiday, the longtime manager for the Chatham Anglers. But before we go to break, and as we finish talking about the potential number 1 overall pick, we would like to thank a few of our sponsors. Cape Cod Veterinary Services is here for your pets when it matters most. With expert emergency and specialty care available 24/7, their compassionate team is dedicated to keeping your furry family members healthy and happy. Located in Buzzards Bay and Dennis, Cape Cod Vet Services is proud to support the local community and the Bourne Braves. Learn more at CapeCodVetSpecialist.com. Angel's Touch in Bourne is your trusted family-owned destination for expert collision repair, detailing, and classic car restoration. Whether it's a fender bender or a full custom rebuild, their certified technicians deliver top-quality craftsmanship with a personal touch. Located on MacArthur Boulevard, Angel's Touch is proud to serve the Cape community and support your Bourne Braves. Learn more at CapeCodAutoBodyAndDetailing.com. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th in a moment. Braves lead it 8-5.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
A new pitcher into the game for the Bourne Braves here in the bottom of the 7th inning as Nate Wysong takes the ball with the Bravos up 8-5. Will Whelan's day is done out of the bullpen, and he had a spectacular outing. Went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs. He walked just 1 and struck out 4. Wysong, the right-hander out of Wake Forest, he has been one of the better arms out of the bullpen for the Braves this summer. His first pitch to Jason Walk is a called strike on a fastball at 95 miles an hour. Wysong has a 1.93 ERA in 4 outings. He's been mainly a early reliever, sometimes a middle reliever, but here potentially with a chance to go for a 3-inning save. Right-hander with the low kick in the pitch. This is inside at 95, and it's 1-1. Wysong last pitched on July 2nd, just under a week ago. It was a win for the Braves against the Orleans Firebirds. He went 2 1/3, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Right-hander kicks and fires. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Talking about guys that could potentially get drafted from the Bourne Braves last year, one of them being Joe Ariel. He is a teammate of Nate Wysong's at Wake Forest. The right-hander comes set, the 1-2. This is outside. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the Wake Forest baseball program over the next few years and just that pitching staff in general, because the architect of the Wake pitching program has left. The 2-2. Fouled off, straight back. Corey Mascara spent a few seasons as the pitching coach for the Demon Deacons. He was D1 Baseball's assistant coach of the year. They have that Wake Forest pitching lab that the Demon Deacons are so known for, and with that lab and with Mascara, they had one of the better staffs in all of college baseball for the past few years. They've had a number of guys come up to the Bourne Braves, but with Mascara to Duke, it'll be interesting to see what happens. The 2-2 is a fastball upstairs, and the count moves full to 3-2. I mean, you just think of some of those Wake Forest pitchers that have ended up going to the draft and ended up getting picked very early on. Chase Burns last season as the payoff pitch is a half swing, went right back to the pitcher. Wysong throws sidearm to first, and it bounces out of the glove of Cade Lewis, his Wake Forest teammate, but all the Braves are saying that Walk ran into the glove. Campbell Smithwick, the Bourne catcher, out there as well, trying to argue for it, but looks like the umpires are going to keep the runner at first. Now Scott Landers is on his way out.
It's very interesting because John LeGrande coming in at home at a very similar play. The difference is, you could say Cade Lewis, when he tried to haul it in at first, didn't really have full possession of it compared to when Briggs at home did have possession and it popped out of the glove. That might be just enough of a difference to have the calls be as they are, where LeGrand has interference at home and it's safe at first for Walk.
Well, the other thing is, too, is LeGrande was called for knocking the ball out of the glove, while Jason Walk may have just ran into the body of Cade Lewis. So we'll see, as Walk is still at first base, and the 3 umpires, Austin Bricel and Jake Pergetta and Jim Fonseca, are all talking things over. But back to what I was saying about that Wake Forest pitching staff, it'll be interesting to see what happens. They had Chase Burns, who got drafted super high, Rhett Lauder, who also was picked very high. So many guys over the last couple of years, as Walk is called at first safe. So who knows what will happen, but the Demon Deacons have been a great baseball program over the last many of years. So you have to imagine that they'll be able to retool and reload even with the pitching coach leaving. Brody Briggs stands in. First pitch. Called strike on an off-speed. Tom Walter, the head coach for Wake, has just done an excellent job. Brought them to be the #1 team in the country a few years ago and brought them to Omaha. From the stretch, pickoff attempt, and back at first with a head-first dive is Jason Walk. Wake has been one of the best programs over the past few years at getting guys out of the portal from mid-majors. Pickoff attempt, and Cade Lewis tags out Jason Walk. Perfect that time from Wysong. As one of those transfers, Cade Lewis applies the tag. So there's out number 1 of the bottom of the 7th. It's Cade Lewis, who transferred to Wake Forest from Butler, tags out Jason Walk after his Demon Deacon teammate threw it over. So 0-1 with 1 out. Brody Briggs in the left-handed box. The pitch. Outside fastball to ball, and it's 1-1. One of those other Demon Deacons who went from mid-major up to Wake is Ethan Conrad, who played for the Braves last summer and will probably be a first-round pick. The 1-1 misses low, and it's 2-1. It's just such a shame that Conrad suffered a season-ending injury pretty early on in the season this year, because he was off to an incredible start with Wake Forest before getting hurt. A start that's not really a surprise to anyone that saw him here as the 2-1. This is outside. Conrad with Wake Forest before his injury played in 21 games and hit .372 with a .744 OPS. He had 8 doubles, 7 home runs in 21 games as the 3-1 is fouled back. For those of us that saw him here in Bourne, he hit .385 for the Braves. Not as much power, but he always showcased his speed with 19 stolen bases, and he was just an incredible baseball player, and hoping that he gets drafted in the first round. The payoff pitch is fouled off down the third baseline. Conrad was one of those guys who, as you were talking about earlier, Scott Landers found and just came out of nowhere. Conrad hadn't played at Wake yet before he came here. He had spent 2 years at Marist and some time in the Perfect Game League with the Saugerties Stallions, and it was enough to come here and be a star. Payoff pitch is fouled off out of play down the third baseline and over the stands, which don't have a single person in it behind the Hyannis bench.
Not the same for the Bourne side.
Mostly interns, but a few fans. I count.
They're cheering like fans
4
right now.
Here's the payoff pitch. Misses low on a fastball, and it's ball 4 to Brody Briggs. So a runner on first base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. For Charlie Bates, he's 2 for 2 with a strikeout. So one thing we haven't seen this year for Bourne is one of those small school guys who is transferring up, make a big impact, as the first pitch is a fastball called strike to Charlie Bates. There aren't many guys that really qualify to be small school to big school. The one that you look at mainly is Dominic Morrow, the pitcher, as the 0-1 is a called strike, and it's 0-2. Morrow was playing Division II, and he's on his way to Cincinnati. He was really solid in his first appearance of the summer for the Braves. Went an inning and 2/3 and didn't give up any runs. The pitch, a fastball upstairs. It's 1-2. But other than that, there's no small school guys on the entire Bourne Braves team. The only player from a non-Big 12 SEC, Big 10 or ACC school is John LeGrande from St. John's, as the 1-2 is hit through the right side for a base hit. And so a 1-out single for Charlie Bates, and it's runners on first and second with the top of the order up.
Maybe not a big school, small school, big school jump, but Landon White at Bryant D3 to D1.
That is true as one. However, he did unfortunately just get released yesterday, so the one guy that Bourne had from a small school has now left the team. They also had Max Bayless from Santa Clara, but he left for Team USA and has not returned. On that, all big school players for the Braves. Jake Schaffner out of North Carolina is at the plate. He represents the tying run here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out, 2 on. First pitch, a fastball upstairs, and it's 1-0. Schaffner reached on his first 2 plate appearances today. That was about 4.5 hours ago. He hit a single and was hit by a pitch. Wysong's 1-0. Fastball 93 miles an hour at the letters. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. This game started at 6 p.m. We went up until right around 7:30 and then went into a 90-minute rain delay. Much more of a lightning delay than a rain delay, to be honest, as the 1-1 runs inside. There was maybe about 10 to 15 minutes of drizzling, never any point of true rainfall. But the lightning was close enough. We were just on the edge of the storm that went across mainland Cape Cod, and here on the southern tip we got nicked. The 2-1 runs inside, almost nicks the batter Schaffner, but a ball on the count 3-1. Storms usually go west to east out on the Cape, as did today's. However, it stayed on the north end of the arm, and we didn't get too much rain. That pitch gets away from Campbell Smithwick, but ball 4 no matter what, and it loads the bases for Matthew Mura. And now things are getting real serious because the tying runner is on first base, Jake Schaffner. Brody Briggs is now all the way up to third. Charlie Bates stands on second. And Matt Mura, who's at the plate, has reached 4 times today. He's walked twice, hit a single and a double. He's got an RBI. But first, Scott Landers is on his way out of the Bourne dugout to talk with his pitcher out of Wake Forest.
No action in the bullpen right now, so just a conversation to just reset things a little bit. A big situation right here. You're in a game that you really can't afford to lose, and I say that because of the arms you've put out. Going into this game, there have been 2 players with more than 1 appearance to not allow an earned run going into it. That's Will Whalen and Jonathan Stevens. They've both played, and Wysong in this one has the most appearances with only 2 earned runs other than Shorey. So he's had a really good resume this season. You're throwing out talented arms today, Adam, and if you lose this one, you won't be able to lose those guys for a while, and that's a big fallback, you could say.
It is important to note, though, that this is a pretty good spot to use a lot of pitchers. We had an off day yesterday. Bourne didn't really have to go deep into the bullpen on Sunday, and there is another off day on Thursday, so you've only got 2 games to play with before you get basically all your pitchers back for the weekend. But definitely one that Bourne could win with the arms they've used. First pitch runs inside and hits off the bat of Mura. That went right off the knob, almost hit him. A couple inches away from bringing home a run with the bases loaded. Briggs on third, Bates on second, Schaffner on first. With 1 gone in the bottom of the 7th, and Bourne up 8-5. Wysong at the belt. Here's the kick and the pitch. Called strike on a fastball at the letters. It's 0-2. Wysong a strike away from eliminating the opportunity for a sacrifice with Briggs on third. Bates on second, not the fastest runner. The 0-2. Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. The Braves are in double play formation, indicating they would trade a run for a chance to get out of this inning if they can't turn 2. The pitch. A ground ball towards second. Here is a chance for 2. Kojal to wait, and he stepped off the bag. So the Braves don't get any. An error on the relay between Kojal and Waite. The runner comes in to score. Briggs from third. And the bases are still loaded for Ryan McKay.
Just a really tough spot right there. You have the chance to turn 2, and that middle of the infield still developing that chemistry, just aren't able to execute. An unfortunate spot, but still Bourne maintain that lead.
Here's the pitch, and that runs inside to Ryan McKay. That was actually, it still has not been officially scored yet, that last play, so we'll wait to see. But either way, it is a 2-run ball game, 8-6 here in the bottom of the 7th. Base is still loaded. The pitch to McKay. A called strike on the outside part of the plate. They do call it a fielder's choice initially that Mura reached on. However, There is a E6 against Riker Waite. That's already the 5th error that we've seen today, and that error is what brought home the run. The 1-1. This is outside on a fastball.
First error on the season against Riker Waite, too.
Here's the pitch, fouled off, out of play down the third base side. Wysong gets the count to 2-2. He hasn't gotten a single out yet on a play where a runner hasn't reached base. Actually, his only out was on a pickoff. Other than that, a walk, hit, walk, fielder's choice, and error. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big bounce back pitch there from Nate Wysong to retire Ryan McKay and get the second out of the bottom of the 7th. The first strikeout for Wysong as Gabe Camacho stands in. He's 2 for 3 today with a hit by pitch. Both of his hits are singles. A single here could tie the game. Braves up by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. But the base is still loaded. It's Charlie Bates on third, Jake Schaffner on second, Matthew Mura on first. First pitch to Camacho is fouled off over the Harborhawks dugout, and the count 0-1. Braden Holcomb at third, playing off the line. The 0-1. Called strike on a fastball outside part of the plate. It's 0-2, and Wysong can get out of this here with the squad still up by 2.
Pitching really well after that Landers mound visit.
The right-hander steps back on the rubber and comes to the belt. Here's the kick and the pitch. Swung on, popped up, third base side, tailing out of play. Holcomb can't make the catch in front of the fence. It seemed like Holcomb thought that ball was going to drop foul. He kept running after it, though. His hat fell off, and he ended up overrunning it.
Still a little bit of wind heading out toward right field right now. Initially, that one was looking way out of play, and probably a tough one to judge for Braden Holcomb at third base.
But the count's still 0-2 with 2 outs. Second straight strikeout for Wysong can get him out of this with his squad still up by 2. The right-hander looks down at his left wrist, gets a sign, and comes set with 5 on the pitch clock. The kick and the pitch. Fastball just upstairs. It's 1-2. Charlie Bates 90 feet away. Jake Schaffner behind him, and Matthew Mura, the trailing runner at first. Mura at first represents the go-ahead run. The pitch, outside fastball. It's 2-2. Hyannis already has 12 hits on the day. Another one here could tie the game. They've already scored 1 run here in the bottom of the 7th after being shut out 3 frames in a row. The 2-2. Outside, ball 3. And that's 3 straight balls from Nate Wysong after getting ahead 0-2. Wysong looks in. Bases loaded, full count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Runner's going. It's popped up, back and out of play, and we'll do it again. The base is still loaded with 2 outs. Bourne up by 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Braves will send the middle of the order to the plate in the 8th with 4-5-6. Bourne was shut out for just the 2nd time last inning. Here's the payoff. No, it'll have to wait as Wysong steps off and threatens a throw back to second. He keeps it in his glove, though. Neither the second baseman, Kozior, or shortstop Waite was covering the back. Wysong to the belt. Runners get a head start. The payoff pitch. Got him looking. Called strike 3. Low and inside with the changeup. And Nate Wysong gets back-to-back Ks to get out of the bottom of the 7th inning with the Braves still leading 8-6. We'll step aside. When we come back, Devon Jarvis will take you home with the play-by-play for the final 2 innings.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The Bourne Braves are up 2 runs in the final 2 innings here at McKeon Park. It's Devon Jarvis alongside Adam Gotkin. And the Braves bats are up to bat here in the top of the 8th. The 8-6 ball game has been full of action. So far in this one, 4.5 innings of action with at least 1 run. And the Bourne Braves will begin the top of the 8th with Kahio Aloy. The big bat out of Arkansas has already showcased so much power this season. Still looking for his first hit on the day, however. Gotten on with a walk, but other than that, he has 2 putouts, 2 walks otherwise. First pitch from the pitcher in Graves is a called strike. No balls, 1 strike, no outs with no one on. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Bourne Braves, 6 runs on 12 hits for Hyannis. The 0-1. Braves throws one way up in the zone for a ball. It's the heart of the order up for the Bourne Braves. Kahio Aloy, Cade Lewis, and Braden Holcomb. Right now, it's 10:48 p.m. This game had first pitch at 6 o'clock. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. Fastball just offside the outer edge. Aloy in the 6th inning was 1 of 3 to score. That gave the Bourne Braves the lead. The 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Aloy has struck out just once today. It's part of the game that he's been struggling with since he's arrived this summer, now playing in his 9th game. Overall, 10 strikeouts on the season, averaging 1 per game. The 1-2, hammered up and foul to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. And Aloy will continue to battle here against Graves. It's an SEC matchup between Arkansas for Aloy, the righty batter, and the lefty pitcher in Griffin Graves out of Auburn. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Just a nipped foul. It dribbles toward the first base dugout and picked up by Cade Lewis in the on-deck circle. Aloy trying to work on that ability to hit for average. This season he's hitting right around 300. The 1-2. Swing and drilled deep into center field. Back at the wall and off the wall. Aloy rounds first, going in towards second. He stands up and puts on the brakes. It's a stand-up double to lead off the 8th inning for Kahio Aloy. A ball hammered into center field, 99 miles per hour off the bat, and goes 381 feet.
You know, it feels funny to say after, you know, a guy got a hit yesterday and another the day before, but it felt like he was almost due for an extra base hit just with how good Kahio Eloy's been swinging the bat. It feels like almost every single game he'll get one at this point, and just another incredible swing that time. That would have been out in a lot of parks in this league. It says it went 381, but you know, it's 379 in center field, so the ball would have went further than the fence if it didn't just hit off the top of it.
Cade Lewis, the new batter out of Wake Forest, but Adam, it's actually not the first ball that Kahio Eloy has hit 380 feet and had to settle for not a home run. He had one at Dorn Park a few weeks ago, or last week. The 0-1 to Lewis from the lefty, Graves. Softly nipped left side, possibly a broken bat, and yes, that will retire that piece of lumber for Cade Lewis. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Eloy at second base. On bag duty is Jake Schaffner, the shortstop. Bourne Braves leading the ball game 8-6. Griffin Graves now the 4th pitcher of the day for Hyannis. They've had an up-and-down game when it comes to defensive ability. 6 of the 8 runs in this one earned. 4 errors on the day for the Harbor Hawks. Looking in his Graves, he hangs his hands over his right hip, comes set at his chest. Runner on second. The 0-2 pitch to Cade Lewis. Lefty-lefty battle. Just low in the dirt on the slider. It's a 3-pitch mix for Griffin Graves. Fastball, changeup, slider. Has no outs in the top of the 8th inning. Set at his chest. Here's the pitch. 1-2 down low. And Lewis, the skilled batter for this Braves team, has worked himself from an 0-2 count to a count squared with balls and strikes at 2. Eloy takes a 5-step lead at second base. Here's the 2-2 from Graves. Slider hammered out right side. That one can drop in the gap, and it will. Bounces once and off the wall. Misfielded by Walk. Eloy's going to come in from second to score, and Cade Lewis stands on second base with an RBI double. The Bourne Braves advance their lead to 3 runs. They're up 9-6 over the Harbor Hawks.
Cade Lewis is very lucky that Jason Walk stumbled in center field because he had a stumble of himself over first base. But because of the misplay in center field, it was a easy trot into second. And what a swing there on a off-speed right at the knees by Cade Lewis to just put the bat out there and send it into the gap. That's a heck of a swing by Bourne's first baseman.
Goes 320 feet, and what's special about Lewis is it looks like he swings the bat in slow motion, but he still gets a little bit of pop to it, too. It's very special. Braden Holcomb, the new batter, also with a runner on second base, swings and flies one out to right field. It will be grabbed by Sawyer Black for out number 1.
Yeah, those doubles back-to-back with Kahio Eloy and Cade Lewis almost couldn't have been more different from one another.
Exactly.
One was just an absolute rocket that seemed like it would have just kept on traveling if the fence wasn't there. Lewis's was just a blooper almost that carried up until it got almost towards the wall.
His swings does exactly what you need to. Just put bat to ball, and Lewis has done that so many times this season and continues to impress. 22 times now on the year. John LeGrande, the new batter, he takes a first pitch strike. He faces Graves for the first time. Graves is 8th batter of the evening now. No balls, 1 strike, a runner on second. The pitch, LeGrande squares to bunt, LeGrande rather, and takes it back. Last time LeGrande was up, he was hit by a pitch, got awarded an RBI. He is followed by Ryan Cooney and Campbell Smithwick. The 1-1 from Graves. Fastball, that one going to get by Briggs. On his way to third is Cade Lewis. Now the battery between these hitter and runners in Cade Lewis and John LeGrande, two of the 2025 Bourne veterans, the way they've played so often for this team, are set to possibly add another run in combination for the Bourne Braves. It's a 9-6 score, the 2-1. Quarter swing from LeGrande, a called strike nonetheless. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 hits so far in the inning for the Bravos. LeGrande swipes his feet in the left-handed batter's box. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Chopped up the middle. Dived out by Jake Schaffner. Makes the grab, a rifle to first base, and a pick by Camacho to get the second out. But the runner will score in Cade Lewis. It's a 6-3 RBI for John LeGrande. Does exactly what he needs to, but what a spectacular grab by Jake Schaffner. He was all the way in on the grass, which leaves him both less reaction time and less room to make a play. Still does it and gets the out. So 2 outs now. Ryan Cooney, the pinch-hitting DH, in the right side. One ball, no strikes to Cooney. Took the first pitch. Infield now back at their standard depth. Fastball low and inside for Griffin Graves. The Auburn Tiger is still trying to work here against this Bourne team. His first time up, was able to shut them out. Now not as much. 2-0, nipped after it was swung on and into the netting behind home plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. You're hanging with us in the top of the 8th inning right now, and Bourne has their 3rd multiple run inning of the day. The 2-1, watched by Cooney, bottom outside paint. Harbor Hawks with 2 more chances to come back in this ball game. The 2-1, watched by Cooney. He's been patient. Cooney on the day so far, a walk and a 2 RBI blooper to center field that dropped between shortstop, second base, and center field. The 3-2, crack to the left side. That one's going to just be foul. Barely. A great swing by Cooney that'll have to earn him nothing, and it's back to the dugout, or back to rather the batter's box for another 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cooney either gets on or ends the inning. Here's the payoff from Graves. Swing and a nipped foul ball. That one's coming way back and just into the hand of Brody Briggs for out number 3. We will take a break here in the middle of the 8th inning. The Bourne Braves up 10-6 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Two more chances for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks to come back in this ball game as the Bourne Braves lead 10-6 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Devon Jarvis alongside Adam Gotkin with you on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. The Bravos have just poured on runs offensively, tying their season high right now with 10 runs, and the Harbor Hawks with 6 have some work to do. It will be the middle of the order: Sawyer Black, Jeffrey Luigi, and Jason Walk. Sawyer Black so far today, 3 strikeouts, 0 for 3 with a walk. Trying to strike magic here against Wysong, who worked so well. Rather a new pitcher for the Bourne Braves. First pitch, a ball. Stays, Nate Wysong, rather. Wysong looks in. 1 ball, no strikes to the lefty in black. Fastball above the zone for ball 2. Defensive replacement in left field. Logan Hughes comes out of the ball game and is replaced by Nick Groves. 2 balls, no strikes. Inside fastball for 3 consecutive balls. Groves, a previous Hyannis Harbor Hawk, will have a little homecoming game today. Did not get featured in the starting lineup, and when I talked to him during the rain delay, he mentioned how much he wanted to play in this game. 3-0 down Broadway for strike 1. We'll see how he potentially does fill out in this lineup. Might not just be in Logan Hughes' spot. Here's the 3-1 from Wysong. Fastball down below the knees, and Black will earn his 2nd walk on the day. It's been either walk or strikeout for Sawyer Black.
That's why that 2 spot in the top half of this inning was so important for the Braves, because just with how this game has gone, no lead is safe. You had a feeling that the Harbor Hawks are going to at least get a runner on, at least maybe even score one. So to be up by 4 just makes it a completely different game.
Jeff Luigi now coming in. 1 hit today, a base hit into right field. Runner on first, the first pitch. Fastball, quarter swing from Luigi. He chops it foul to the left side and picked up in the on-deck circle by Jason Walk. The Bourne Braves leading 10-6 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Looking to protect this lead is Wysong. From the stretch, the 0-1. Off speed upstairs. There was action in the bullpen at the end of the 7th inning when Wysong was in a jam. But Wysong stays in, and Scott Landers has confidence in his pitcher. The 1-1, another off speed in there for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Guarding the bag is Cade Lewis at first. Rest of the infield and outfield playing standard defensively. The 1-2, chopped up the middle. Picked up by shortstop Riker Waite. He hops, shovels to second base, and he's out. Sawyer Black can't beat out the toss for out number 1. And a good play by the middle of the infield to retire the lead runner. Jeffrey Luigi advances on the fielder's choice. And now Jason Walk comes up to bat. He was the first hitter that Wysong faced back in the 7th inning. Got on with a base hit, then was picked off by Wysong by a great pivot move on the mound. First pitch, walk, shows bunt. It's upstairs for ball 1. Still a 10-6 lead for the Bravos. They've been really solid offensively. You look at the last week, and it's some of their best stretches of the season. Combine that, and you've seen 4 wins and 1 loss from the Braves. Off speed upstairs from Wysong again. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Nate looking to his dugout where his teammates are cheering him on. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball slicing up and foul to the left side. It's out of play. Your scores around the league as well. Almost all games done. Some also hit a rain delay, both the ones between Falmouth and Harwich, as well as YD and Chatham. YD leading Chatham 3-0, and Falmouth up 9-8 in the bottom of the 10th. Harwich looking for a walk-off or a potential tie. Outside pitch on the 2-1. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Jason Walk. He's represented his name only once before. Here's the 3-1. Fastball way upstairs, and now there's 2 runners on for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
The catcher from Arizona State, number 32.
Brody Briggs now steps in. He did score back an inning ago. So they've been through quite a lot of batters in these recent innings. Action going in the bullpen. And the Bravos are in a little bit of a jam. Wysong going to try and fight him out. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch, foul tipped back into the glove of Campbell Smithwick. Catcher in Smithwick has been playing an excellent defensive game so far today, and Briggs, the catcher for Hyannis. The 0-1, sailing upstairs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out, and runners on 1 and 2. Luigi's on second. Walk is on first. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And Wysong working in one of his tougher spots this season. Here's the 2-1. Once again upstairs. Wysong on the season has 4 appearances. He's only allowed 2 earned runs, rather 3, in his 5 appearances. That includes today. 3-1 for Wysong from the stretch. Is back at first base, the righty to the lefty. Slicing back and into the netting behind home plate. It's a full count between Briggs and Wysong. A talk from Campbell Smithwick. Motivation to Nate Wysong. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball, chops right side, picked by Cam Kojal, and an easy toss to Cade Lewis at first base to retire Briggs for out number 2. The high chopper fielded well by the second baseman, and Charlie Bates, the 9 batter in the order for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, is up. He's had a really solid day, 2 for 3, has scored twice, and has made it to at least third every time he's reached base. Bates out of Stanford playing third base today. A lot of his Stanford teammates in Cotuit. Runners on 2 and 3 as the ground out from Briggs advanced both runners. It's a first pitch strike on the off speed against Bates. The 0-1 slices foul into the left. A good pitch by Wysong, and the second there are runners in scoring position for Wysong, he seems to elevate his game as he did last inning with 2 consecutive strikeouts when the bases were loaded. Here with runners on 2 and 3, he's been solid. The 0-2 just barely upstairs. And Wysong misses by a few inches. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wysong looks at his left wrist here in the bottom of the 8th inning. But the Bourne Braves currently lead 10-6. The 1-2. Upstairs again on the fastball. Glove at his belt. The 2-2 comes home. Curveball, swing and a miss, just nipped by Charlie Bates, and it barely pops out of the glove of Campbell Smithwick. Couldn't hold on, and will do it again on the 2-2. The 2-2 once again for Wysong. Runners on 2 and 3. The pitch slices back into the netting. A foul ball. The count remains 2-2. Bourne scored 2 in the top of the 8th inning to bring themselves up 4 runs that they lead by right now. Only 1 run in the past 4 2/3 for Hyannis. The 2-2 with 2 outs. To end the inning, Wysong pitches. Low and outside. We're in a full count again. It's been 4 hours since first pitch. Here it comes. Another foul ball sliced. 5 hours, rather. We started this game around 6, had about an hour-long rain delay. Not sure exactly, but now it's 11:11 p.m. The 3-2 on the full count from Wysong. The payoff, hammered up to the left side. It will drop foul. Can the left fielder in Groves get to it? No. Just barely drops, and he lays in the dirt after missing the ball. Another foul ball. And the battle between Charlie Bates and Nate Wysong is continuing to be dramatic.
And that was a really tough play for Nick Groves, too, because he dove into some of the warm-up equipment for the bullpen. They had a roller and a big ball out there that he kind of had to avoid.
The 10th pitch of the at-bat from Wysong. Foul ball. This game does not want to end. Still runners on 2 and 3. The payoff pitch again from Wysong on pitch number 11. A slice and a foul ball above the netting behind home plate will keep it going. Wysong, in his 1 2/3 of work, has 72 pitches. The payoff again. Curveball upstairs for a walk. And Charlie Bates draws a 13-pitch walk to load the bases.
Shortstop from UNC, number 14, Jake Schaffner.
The spirits are high for Hyannis with the tying run at home plate. And Scott Landers will walk out to the mound and point to the bullpen. We will step aside here on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network with more on the new pitcher when we return. We'll have you in just a moment.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
We welcome you back to the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV. It's Devon, Jarvis alongside Adam Gotkin with a new pitcher on the mound for the Bourne Braves. Making his debut in navy and red is Jack Brown, the right-handed reliever out of Louisville. A very interesting story how he got here, Adam. I know you are a lot in tune with it, maybe a little bit more than I am. No GPS, traveling multiple days here all the way to the Cape Cod Baseball League, and now he steps in for his first time in relief for the Braves.
Yeah, from Carmel, Indiana to Cape Cod with no GPS, and it only took him about an hour more than the GPS said it would, and he says it's probably because of stops.
Well, he steps in here against the top of the order in Schaffner. Schaffner drills one right side, chopped grounder, and an easy play for Cade Lewis as he steps on third base for out number 3. One pitch and one out for Jack Brown, which will end the 8th inning of play between the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We take things to the top of the 9th. When we return, Bourne looking to add insurance to their 4-run lead on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
It's a 10-run lead in the top of the 9th inning for the Bourne Braves over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. It's insurance time for the Bravos as they'll look to add to their 4-run lead and begin things with the 9-batter in their order, Campbell Smithwick. Smithwick has been having a really solid day on both sides of the plate. 2 walks and a base hit. Overall 0 for 2. Got stranded on second base in the 7th inning his last time on. Here in the 9th, he steps up with the top of the order to follow, Riker Waite and Nick Groves. First pitch, hammered right side. Hard ground ball to the second baseman McKay. Dives to field, throws to first, and gets the out. So if you combine last inning and this one, we've seen 2 consecutive pitches for 2 consecutive outs. And now it's back to Riker Waite at the top of the order.
Shortstop from Vanderbilt, number 3, Riker Waite.
Riker Waite having one of the best days of the summer. 3 for 5 with some RBIs and just an overall fantastic day. First pitch misses. On the bump is Eddie Cooper for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Here's the 1-0. The righty tosses one in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Eddie Cooper, the rising redshirt junior, going to Charlotte next year, and rather Copper, but out of South Carolina. Swinging a slicing foul ball up and back. For Hyannis this summer, has a 10.5 ERA in 6 innings pitched. The 2-1. Down Broadway, swing and a slicing foul ball over the third base dugout and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes from the wind. Another foul ball from Riker Waite. Riker Waite going to dig into the left side, a switch hitter who has seen times from both sides of the plate today. Here's the 2-2. Riker Waite watches the ball by. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out on the board. From the wind, Copper kicks and deals. Swing and a slicing foul ball again over third base and foul. Riker Waite working the pitch count up against the new pitcher in Copper. That's the 8th of the at-bat. Staring straight in is Copper. Brings glove to mouth and deals. Way up and in. A limbo by Riker Waite to dodge, and a base on balls for the rising sophomore at Vanderbilt. 1 on with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning as the Bravos lead by 4 runs. This is just a insurance inning for the Braves if they can continue to add. A story to follow now is Nick Groves steps into the left side. He's pinch hitting in place of Logan Hughes. Also came in defensively last inning. Groves, the lefty, takes the first pitch for strike 1. Last season, Groves was playing on the other side of this battle. He was with Hyannis, where he batted .360 in 26 games. Groves digs in. Here's the 0-1. Hammered deep out to right center field. That one going to drop in front of Walk, the center fielder. He can't field it. Riker Waite storming through third and all the way to home. Nick Groves on his horse, also to third, standing up for an RBI triple. The Bravos lead 11-6. And Nick Groves gets a hit against his former team. That feels oh so sweet.
Number 5, Cam Kojul.
Another misplay in center field by Jason Walk. He's had plenty of those today. Not called an error, but there's been a couple. Cam Kojul, the lefty batter, now in. Or they do call it an error eventually. That's how Groves is going to reach third. And
they actually just give him a single and then the error, so just a single, unfortunately, for Groves and not an extra base hit.
With that, too, the run is still earned to Copper.
It is the 5th error of the game, though, for Hyannis.
1-1 swing and a miss from Camden Kojul. Riker Waite is very speedy. They credit him being able to score even just on that. Swinging a foul ball. Third base dugout. Just misses it to the left. And 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Bravos lead 11-6 in the top of the 9th inning. The 1-2. Breaking ball just outside. Count squared up at deuces. Cahillo Aloy on deck, and in the hole is Cade Lewis. Both of those players got a double the last time they were up in the 8th. Kojul. Here's the 2-2. Swing over the head of the shortstop and into center field for a base hit. An easy trot for Nick Groves. And he makes it home to bring things to a 12-6 ball game. Cam Kojul with his first RBI on the season and his first hit of the day.
The right fielder.
He was the only Brave to not yet reach base, so
Arkansas, number 25.
everyone in the Bourne starting lineup is on. And that's one that, definitely feels good for Kojul after a rough start to his day.
It at least ends well for Cam Kojul, adding to now the season high of 12 runs for the Bravos. Foul ball for the first pitch for Cahillo Aloy. Puts it off his left foot. Copper, the pitcher, will look for a new ball. Runner on first in Kojul. In the batter's box, Cahillo Aloy, the righty out of Arkansas, has his Arkansas teammate on first base. Kojal was the second baseman, and Aloy was the designated hitter for the SEC juggernaut. From the stretch, Copper back to first, deals. A swing and a chopped ground ball, third base side, and foul for Aloy on the second pitch. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Bravos have 12 runs to Hyannis' 6. They've tallied on 2 more here in the 9th inning to increase their lead. Aloy resets himself in the right-handed batter's box. The righty pitcher in Copper from the stretch fires. That one taken for a called strike 3 by Kuhio Aloy, and he will step back to the dugout, representing out number 2. Aloy gets his second strikeout on the day, and Cade Lewis now could be the last batter for the ball game for the Bourne Braves, or potentially keep this 9th inning rally going. No balls, no strikes. Copper on the mound will fire. Swing and a miss on the first one from Cade Lewis. Lewis's last time up doubled to center field. Just a precision ball into the gap to bring home a run. Almost all of the Bravos have scored. All of that except for Smithwick, Cooney, and Kojal, as well as Legrande. Another ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Smithwick's, rather, Lewis, the 1-1. He watches by for strike 2. Runner on first. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Copper fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 from Cade Lewis. So the Bravos add 2 more in the top of the 9th inning. They lead 12-6 as we hand things over to the Harbor Hawks for their final opportunity. Unless this inning lasts like 3 seconds, this will be the last half inning of the game. You can't start one after 11:30. So when we return, it's the last half inning of the game here at McKeon Park. Hyannis up. They've got a lot of work to do when we come back on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
You can dream it. If you can cruise in it. If you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
It's the last inning of play between the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Bottom of the 9th as the Bourne Braves lead by 6. The Harbor Hawks are the home team and have 1 more shot here to extend, or rather just tie this ball game or win it. There is no extending as this inning will begin at 11:30. You can't start the top of an inning after 11:30. This Cape League game has been going for 5.5 hours here at McKeon Park, in part due to a rain delay. First pitch from the pitcher, Jack Brown, is in there for strike 1. That was only his second pitch. He came in relief in the 8th, only threw 1. Good for a ground out to end the inning. He steps in here against Matt Mura. No balls, 1 strike the count to Mura, the righty. Mura, the only righty in this lineup. The rest of them, lefties or switch hitters. 0-1, quarter swing from Mura, called strike to make the count. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. No runners on, and the lead at 6 for Bourne. Set at his neck, is Jack Brown, a hybrid deal. Swinging a hammered ball to left field. It loops foul and into the trees. Likely would have been gone 365 feet off the bat to left field. Home run distance just needs to be at least 324 feet. Third base umpire Jim Fonseca is talking to both Jack Brown and Scott Landers here, telling Brown he needs to do something differently. Landers is a little bit confused, but seems to just be a clarification, nothing of a penalty of sorts. Just about the windup of Jack Brown and its legality. No balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Jack Brown has worked really well against these first 2 batters. His only pitches so far have been strikes or balls in play. Finally, the conversation dissolves and Landers returns to the first base dugout and Fonseca to third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the mound is Brown. Pins his glove at his chest. On the 1-2 rather, he deals. Shallow grounder, chased on by Brown. Bare hand field, tossed to first, he is safe. All you need is 1 runner to start a rally. Matt Mura reaches first on a dribbler that goes just 1.5 feet off the bat, probably 10 feet total. Good enough for a base hit. Ryan McKay, who's been the real damage doer for this Hyannis team, is in here with a runner on first. Has 3 RBIs so far today and an open stance from the lefty's batter's box. First pitch from the righty. Hard ground ball right side. Picked up by Lewis. He spins, looks towards second, doesn't throw. Now comes all the way back around to first base to step on the bag for out number 1. A safe play there. Realized that Mira was going to beat the throw. So McKay goes down on the 3-1, and Gabe Camacho, the first baseman, who's down with 3 strikeouts already, or rather 2 strikeouts already today, will step in.
That was a very smart play by Cade Lewis at first base to not throw to second. Not worth the risk. Might as well just get that out, especially with a 6-run lead.
Jack Brown with a runner on second now, deals to Camacho. Hard ground ball right side, fielded by Lewis again. A great web gem, and he steps on first for out number 2. Cade Lewis impressing today defensively at first base.
The right fielder from North Carolina, number 34, Sawyer Black.
Last hope for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks is Sawyer Black. 3 strikeouts on the day, last time reached on a walk and was thrown out on a fielder's choice at second base. No balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Black the lefty against the righty pitcher in Jack Brown. First pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Campbell Soup Smithwick.
By the way, if anyone was counting, that was the 5th unassisted ground out to first base of the game. It's got to be close to a record.
I can't say anybody was counting, but a good nugget. 1-0, fouled off. Crazy how many there have been. The 1-1 from Jack Brown. He fires, swing and a miss for strike 2. Jack Brown now 1 pitch away from ending this ball game. Runners on third base only in Matt Mura. The tying run of the ball game would be Charlie Bates, the 9 batter in the order, and he's 4 away from coming up. The 1-2, fastball low and outside. A stop by Smithwick to square the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th as the Braves lead 12-6. Jack Brown looking to end the game as lightning grazes the sky around the outfield. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Jack Brown earns the save for the Bourne Braves as they get their highest score of the season with 12 and end the season. What a win for the Bravos. They're improving now to 9-10 and 1 on the season, Adam. Just a very gritty game and possibly an assist from the rain delay.
Yeah, a very gritty game, and you have to give all the credit in the world to this Braves team for coming out of that rain delay and scoring a run in 3 straight innings. The offense showed up. You wouldn't have been able to tell that they went through that stretch of 90 minutes without playing because they came out of it and looked incredible.
After the rain delay, the Bravos only failed to score once, and that came in the 7th inning. Well, it's been a pleasure being alongside you for today's ball game. On behalf of our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, our producer, Gabriella Voccio, my friend and fellow play-by-play broadcaster, Adam Gotkin, I'm Devon Jarvis. Before we go, this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or any other use is strictly prohibited. We really appreciate you listening with us and maybe hanging with us for all 5 hours and 40 minutes. It was certainly a long one, but the Bravos are back out tomorrow facing the Harwich Mariners at home. They're looking for their first win against the defending champs. That will be at 6 p.m. We'll be live at 5:45 at Bourne Park. We appreciate you all listening today. On behalf of our whole crew, I'm Devon Jarvis, signing off on the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.